boy. The Duchess of Cambridge gives birth to her third child. He was born just after 11 a.m. and in the last half hour left hospital with his beaming parents.
How are you feeling, Duke?
Very happy, very delighted.
Earlier, the new prince met his big brother and sister as they visited him in hospital. Also tonight, the former MasterChef finalist who died running the London Marathon. Citizenship and compensation for victims of the Windrush scandal. And remembering Stephen Lawrence, tributes to the murdered teenager 25 years on.
This is the ITV Evening News with Mary Nightingale.
Good evening. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were all smiles tonight as they presented their new baby to the world. The couple waved to the crowds as they braved the huge numbers of cameras outside St Mary's Hospital in London. Their third child was born this morning, weighing in at a healthy 8 pounds and 7 ounces. Our royal editor Chris Shipp is outside the hospital tonight. Chris.
Mary, for anyone who predicted there would be little interest in the third baby of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, well, they were to be disproved today, judging by the amount of cameras in this street here and members of the public who lined up on both sides of the road. All eyes trained on the doors of the Lindo wing, which, as you can see behind me now, have become a bit of a tourist attraction themselves. And then just before 6 o'clock this evening, through those doors came the Duke and Duchess themselves with their new baby son. As my colleague Paul Davis reports, the crowds here were not to be disappointed.
A first step into the big world for the latest addition to possibly that world's best-known family. A beaming Duke and Duchess of Cambridge present their new son to the waiting media. Well wrapped up against a cool evening, the baby, who is sixth in line to the throne, in the arms of his mother, who poses for photographs that will be seen across the planet before deciding it's time to take the infant back into the warm. Earlier, arriving to meet a new little brother for the first time, Princess Charlotte expertly waved to the cameras outside St Mary's Hospital. A more serious Prince George gripped Dad's hand. After a day at school, an appearance before the massed ranks of the world's media, before getting to see the latest addition to the family. The arrival of that little brother, 8 pounds 7 ounces of him to be precise, announced formally in the traditional way, a notice on an easel at Buckingham Palace, with the welcome news: mother and baby doing well. And there were many happy to celebrate that.
We were hoping that it had happened while we're here, so bingo, it happened. So God bless this new little baby.
I said to my husband when I knew she'd gone into labour today, yes, it's going to be a boy, and I was correct. And we've come all the way from York to see this, so very happy and delighted.
We just came today and we are thrilled to be here when the baby's born. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Awesome.
She was talking about it just yesterday when we were in Paris.
Like
the
I
baby's
could
going to
cry.
be born
We could cry.
while we're in London.
We're
so
so
she was really looking
excited.
forward
We're
to
very
it.
excited. As soon as she announced the birth, that she was pregnant, I said, we're going to be here when that baby is born. I just knew it. And we're so excited.
The Duchess has been here before, of course, first for the birth of Prince George, and then for the arrival of Princess Charlotte 3 years ago. There is one significant difference. Charlotte stays ahead of her new brother in the line of succession.
Well, this takes the royal family right into the 22nd century, isn't it? I mean, this baby look back on the reign of Queen Elizabeth as if it was Queen Victoria. It's a sign of how the British royal family has its ability to regenerate itself.
Within the last hour, William and Kate left the hospital with their new son. They didn't know it would be a boy until he was born. Carefully fixing the baby seat in the back of the car, the Duke answered the many shouted messages from well-wishers with humour.
How are you feeling, Duke?
Thrice the worry now, he said, before driving the new addition back to join his older brother and sister at Kensington Palace. Paul Davis, ITV News.
Let's go straight back to Chris outside the hospital. So any word then on the name yet?
No word on the name yet, and Mary, I don't think you'll get that for a day or two at least. As you heard the Duke say when he got into the car just next to me here, and you can hear a rendition of God Save the Queen going on behind me at the door to the Lindo wing. He said that you won't have to wait too long. The current betting is it will be Arthur. We simply do not know. But I think as you heard him say, he's got 3 times as much to worry about now. One of those things he has to worry about is a name. But they've got to get through their first night as a family of 5. But George and Charlotte, who arrived here earlier, were looking very happy. And Prince William said to us as he drove away that they were delighted and very excited, as well they might be.
OK, Chris Shipp outside St Mary's, Paddington. Thank you. Well, moving on to other news now, and tributes have been paid to the former MasterChef contestant Matt Campbell, who died running the London Marathon. The 29-year-old collapsed just a few miles short of the finish on what was the hottest event on record. The chef was raising money for a charity closely associated with his late father. Tonight, donations of more than £50,000 have already been pledged. Neil Connery has more.
Matt Campbell was a dedicated runner and a talented chef. The London Marathon was his second in a fortnight, following on